Hello everybody from Buenos Aires, the capital of Argentina. I've been here for the past few days participating in the IDEA Dialogue, which is the big corporate economic conference that the Argentinians run every year in Mar del Plata. I helped open the conference there with a session on geopolitics and its complexities. And it's been fascinating because Argentina is cut through and through by very macro trends, geopolitical and otherwise, that make it a very interesting case study about where the global order is headed. One, it is very clearly affected by the China-US collision. It trades immensely with China, but at the same time is a close ally and a partner of the United States. In fact, President Milei was just in Washington with Donald Trump, where they've confirmed a massive aid plan. It's about $40 billion from the US Treasury of purchases of Argentinian pesos to stop the decline of the value of the peso, which had inflation implications for the Argentinian economy, maybe the number one issue that the government is trying to tackle to contain inflation. Very extraordinary conversation, with the US taking truly unique measures to support an ally, and not just an allied country, but an allied government. He made it very explicit that this was about Milei and the conditionality of the aid, having access to strategic resources in Argentina, rare earths, lithium, and many other sectors, and also kicking the Chinese out as much as they can. China is a fundamental trade partner across the country, the biggest trading partner that the Argentinians have, and this is of concern to the US very clearly, and China has been investing and developing key infrastructure. So here you have a country that is clearly affected by the emerging geopolitics of the world and is trying to make the most of it, the best of it. And it's also a look into the future for something that might happen to other countries in the region. Now, the second element of uniqueness to Argentina is it has a very libertarian leader, Javier Milei. It's very unique. He's pushing for an agenda of deregulation, reducing the size of the state, and he's a real test case. He's unique to Argentinian history, political history of the last decades, and whether he succeeds or fails will also be a litmus test for these sorts of movements, much closer to what you would see in the MAGA movement or very conservative circles in the US. So Argentina is also a test case for this. And then thirdly, as a European, it's very interesting for me to try to understand where Europe is at in this country and in this region. And there was a lot of talk of Europeans disinvesting, departing from the region, particularly Spaniards, but many others having a small diplomatic presence. And we also discussed extensively with colleagues here in government and in business the importance of the EU-Mercosur trade agreement. It goes well beyond being a sheer trade agreement. This is a geopolitical accord across the two continents that would really anchor the relationship moving forward, which is something that I think Spain has tried to explain within the EU extensively. So Argentina is going through a very, very important moment, full of risk, but also opportunity. And it's a very interesting place to try to understand where the world and the region is headed. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.